Hiya folks, Blackie Ray here on this dreary Tuesday afternoon here. It looks like there's a storm moving in, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll be able to knock out this vid in time enough not to have me laptop completely ruined by a rainstorm. Anyway, we're on to video number 3, which is Conversation. This is where it gets tricky, Metalheads. You're gonna have to utilize stuff from the first video and the second video. So like in the first one, there was finding common ground, basically finding something that kind of socially unites you and the person that you're trying to pursue. You have to have something that you have in common. There has to be some kind of general thing that you can both kind of, see eye to eye on and have something to discuss. Second is breaking the ice. Actually finding the platform for which you will be able to communicate on. Generally, this has to kind of coincide with whatever it is that you found common ground on. Like my main thing is music most of the time. There's got to be some kind of, well, my thing is that's kind of a cheat for me, because as a musician, I guess I could consider myself a musician. I might as well say musician. I make music, so it's a pride thing. If you're not successful and established, you're kind of hesitant to go ahead and give yourself the title. But regardless, who's to say what the future holds? In we're getting into something that has nothing to do with the point. Okay, anyway, again, like I was saying, breaking the ice. You want to find that thing that you both do, and that you can kind of communicate at that level with. It's one thing for you to both have it in common. It's the second thing for you to find a place to communicate with. Okay, as we're moving on to conversation has to be something that is enjoyable for the person you're trying to pursue. If you get to a point where that person is avoiding you, or you're not, and it's just not, that's the thing. Another thing I didn't mention in the first one, sometimes in the dedication of trying to pursue and stay on something and not be a quitter, you become persistent. You don't want to be persistent with the person who has, not shown any interest in you, because that's just creepy. Then it comes off as you're a stalker. You know what I mean? You're stalking someone. This is someone that has no interest in you and is not pursuing you on any kind of level socially or whatever, what have you. So it's just you harassing them. That's what it turns into. You don't want to be somebody who is a stalker, harassing somebody who has no interest in you. Don't move on. Second to that rule, for whatever the chick looks like or what it is about her and that you're so in love with, there's a billion chicks on earth. It will be another one who has all of those same qualities, if not more. For whatever one you're completely stuck on, trust me, dude, there will be another one who's better and does things even more so than the one that you were stuck on and had no interest in you. You have to remember that one person that you're trying to pursue is not the only person on earth. Always remember that. That's never get stuck in this thing of where the only way you'll ever be able to attain any kind of happiness is by, being involved with this person who you obviously are not going to get anywhere with. It's pointless. You've absolutely equated your life to pursuing something that is utterly pointless. Let's say you were in love with a cow or something, and the cow doesn't love you back, and now your life is pointless because a cow doesn't love you back. It makes no sense. You're not gonna get anywhere. You need to just move on. And you have to remember, there's tons of chicks who gonna look like the chick that you are so madly in love with. Remember this. This is a hard lesson that a lot of dudes have to learn. Is when you're 18, you think that that's the only chick on earth that looks like that, and that you'll only ever be able to get close to, and all these other reasons to pursue and stay with something that's not worth your time. And ultimately you'll find out, no, you'll go to college and there'll be like 6 or 7 chicks you meet in 8 months that all meet those same standards. If not more. That's the whole thing. Life is just, it's everything is ever changing. Do not ever get stuck on one person like they're the beginning and end of the world, because they are not. Trust me. No matter how cute or how great or all the little things, you know how when you're really crushing on somebody or you really like them and you want to pursue them more than just sexually, like it's those little things you like about them. It's their laugh, and it's the way they talk, and it's their mannerisms. There's someone else on earth who covers all that ground, you know. Even if you don't get this one, there will be another one. That's that one thing that guys kind of don't remember sometimes, especially younger guys who, you know, who haven't lived enough. Kind of some of the audience that I'm kind of targeting now, or the guys that I'm targeting now, are younger and haven't had that life experience to know that a lot of actually getting the chick that you want is being able to move on from not getting the chick that you wanted. You know, that's all part of it too. Yeah, you didn't get that one, but there will be another more grander one to come later on. Anyway, moving on. Conversation again, with me, my thing is all about being able to entertain someone. They have to want to have conversation with you. To put it more intensely, it has to be to a degree therapeutic for them. It has to be something that they turn to for, you know, comfort. It has to be, you know, if they don't know you personally, or if you haven't developed the kind of you know, stuff that you develop with people that you're around all the time, or like that you know personally. It's a whole lot easier to develop those kind of things when you know someone personally. But if you're just trying to, you know, pursue them and you don't know them personally, you have to have some kind of reason for being there. You have to have some kind of reason for them to seek your company. You know what I mean? You can't just be out the blue guy. You know, that's the worst thing in the world. Never be out the blue guy, because the out the blue guy is just weird. He just never gets anywhere, and it just stays Mr. Out the blue guy. So you always want to have some reason for being there, and give them some kind of, you know, reason for wanting your company, or wanting your suggestion, or wanting your conversation. If you're not good at conversation, one thing I would say is you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to really learn. You're going to have to more or less get in there and find, I mean, it's to a point now where you can Google virtually anything. And I'm sure there's tons of people who can help you out with well, I guess I could, more or less. That's what I'm doing now, is you just want to have some kind of, what's the way to do it if you're not good at conversation? It's hard to say, because conversation is so key. If you're not good at conversation, it's fair to say you're not going to get anywhere, because that's what a lot of, you know, a relationship is generally being able to communicate, you know, on one level or another, and then having a level of entertainment in that communication, you know. So you're really going to have to, you know, learn how to talk to people. You're going to have to step out there and experience different things. That's one thing that really, if you're not good at conversation, that's that first thing you can do, is get out there and experience something that you have never experienced before. Like, say, go to a movie that does not normally appeal to you, you know, by yourself. Just check out something that you totally would not normally want to go see, but there's something there that's got to have your level of interest. Don't go see something you're totally uninterested in seeing, but go see something that's not necessarily what you would normally go and see. You know, just for the experience. You have to, because you're going to have to be able to conversate on levels that you haven't before if you're not good at conversation. So I guess this is kind of a part one on conversation, because there's so many facets and aspects of conversation that it can't just be generally blurted out in one general instruction. You know, you have to learn the degrees of conversation with people, especially when you're pursuing someone for, you know, romantic purposes. Conversation is key. You have to be able to, you know, communicate. There has to be something interesting about your level of communication. And it's not just like I was telling you before, you see these good looking guys who, you know, get women's attention, but it only goes so far, you know. It doesn't go as far as maybe they want. Like I told you, there's a lot of good looking dudes who cry themselves to sleep at night because they don't know how to carry on a relationship. They don't know how to pursue a woman for the purposes of a relationship. They just know how to screw, they just know how to set up a one night stand. And that, like I said, will get really lonely. There's going to be times where you're going to want a certain kind of attention and it's not going to be there because you don't know how to get it. But anyway, like I was saying, there's so many different aspects of conversation. Like I said, experience something new. Number one, do something that I guess better yet, do something that person that you're interested in would do. Do something that that you'll be able to conversate with them about. And then that's when you're off to step one. You've experienced that new thing. You got to pull away stuff from this new thing also. I'm sorry guys, it is looking like it's getting ready to rain, and that's why it's kind of tough to get a good shot in on this one. But anyway, like I said, start with that. Conversation part one, the facets of conversation. Experience something new so that you have something interesting and genuine to bring to the table with a conversation with them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the icebreaker is the fact that you went to go see this movie that people are talking about, and that it sounds like something that maybe that person you were interested in has mentioned or something like that. Icebreaker. See what I mean? Like this conversation part, you utilize finding common ground and breaking the ice, but you do it with conversation. I'm gonna be back at some point this week here. I got plenty of times. I'm just rocking like hell this week. It's tons of fun. But anyway, I'll be back with part 2 of conversation so that you guys know what else to say. So I'll check you guys out later. Hang 10, rock on, party on, and all those cool surfer things that I'm gonna be saying for the next week. Loving it.